I'm out at Whitehurst Heritage Farms in Brenham, Texas, or just outside of Brenham, Texas today, and I'm going to be talking with Michael Marchand, and he is the farmer here, the owner and operator of Whitehurst Heritage Farms. And so I want to make sure that that we get all the questions in and answer all your questions that you might have, so that you can find out more about the farm and how you can become a part of supporting local farmers. All right, so this is Paula Carper, and I am here with Michael Marchand of Whitehurst Heritage Farms. And Michael, just say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Michael is the owner and operator of Whitehurst Farms here just outside of Brenham, Texas. And I'm going to talk with him today to find out a little bit more about the farm and about what he's doing here, to share that with you. So, Michael, tell us a little bit about how long you've been here in this area and what you're doing.
Sure. So we've been farming for about 5 years. We started out in Cypress, Texas. I was a white-collar business owner that just decided to give that up and get back to nature and just do something that I really loved. So we started farming in Cypress. We outgrew that fairly quickly. And then 3 years ago, we found this 57-acre property in Brenham. And so we literally moved our entire operation, which includes pastured chickens, pastured egg-laying chickens, meat chickens, cows, pigs, everything to this farm. About a year and a half ago, we decided to diversify the farm and to start growing vegetables. Mostly what we grow are items that you would find in a chef-owned restaurant or restaurant, things like lettuce, tomatoes, kale, salad fixings, all the popular things that most people eat. We don't do any commodity crops like corn or potatoes, things like that. But we farm organically. We're not certified organic, but we farm organically. And what that means is we do not use herbicides in our garden. If we have to use a pesticide, we would use something like a botanical. Botanical would be like something that has a flower extract that's toxic to pests, but not humans. There are also products that are bacteria found in the soil that you can spray to get rid of caterpillars, which are probably the most predominant pests that we have. But we still do all the things that we did originally out here with the animals, and then now the vegetables.
So I'm just gonna show everybody what the gardens, maybe the what's available right now. There's a lot of kale, a lot of greens here available now that Michael's going to tell you a little bit more about too. But this is a really, really beautiful, beautiful spot here. Lots and lots of greens. This is like heaven for me. So I just wanted to share that with you. But Michael's going to show you a little bit more about what's going on here with the plants. What you got in your hand here?
Yeah, so what I was going to show you when I say that we farm organically, if you look at our produce, you're going to see holes in it sometimes, or if you go somewhere else and you see holes in your spinach, within reason. That's because we really try to limit what we do and to have balanced soil, balanced insects, and so on. This caterpillar, this is a larva from a moth. The moth will lay that by the plant. So you'll see these from time to time. Again, we tolerate a little bit, but if needed, again, we'll use these botanicals or bacteria to try to get rid of the pest.
Well, this is Texas, right?
That's right. So we do farm seasonally. For me, my favorite season is actually the fall and winter season, because this is the time where we can grow all of the kale, the spinach, lettuces, all the greens that do not like the heat. We are now in a transition period of spring where we still are able to grow kale, lettuces, greens, things like that, but we're putting in tomatoes and peppers, cucumber, squash, all the crops that really like the heat.
Awesome. So it looks like behind you might have some beets, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, so we
Beets
also
and-
do a lot of root vegetables. The root vegetables in Texas are surprisingly popular. We sell to a lot of restaurants, so the chefs love beets, they love turnips, any kind of root vegetables they can get their hands on. We do grow carrots and sweet salad turnips. Those root vegetables are super popular.
Those are good. I had some of the turnips last night with some of the lettuce here from here, so that was really great. Very tasty. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the spring farm share, or just the farm shares in general.
Time is the biggest problem that we have, and so what we're doing now to make it efficient is we have our 2020 farm share, vegetable farm share, or vegetable box, or some people call it a vegetable CSA. But what we're able to do is, because we have a number of members, we can go out and we can pick 30 bunches of carrots or 30 bunches of kale, all those things more efficiently, and be able to create boxes. It's the same for everyone, and to get those out every week in a more efficient way. And it's helping us, with our goal of being able to get product directly to consumers. When we harvest this product, we're harvesting the day before and a lot of times the day of. So it's extremely fresh. You're not going to find anything more fresh. And so it's exciting for us, and the people that get it, they really love it. And so this is just one of the things that we're doing, just trying to get product direct to the community.
Yeah, I know. I love the vegetable boxes, and what we've been getting lately, of course, is some of my favorite vegetables, like the kale, like the collard greens. Of course, we got a little bit of those. I love the root vegetables, so they're really great. And you can see, even like if I pan over again, like I'm looking at some of this kale, it's gorgeous. And I've never grown kale that looks like that. That's full. That's that full. Tell us a little bit about where they can actually access this, how they can place an order and get on board with the spring farm share, how many spots you have available for that, and where they can pick that up, how
Sure.
they can actually
So
get
we
it.
have a website, and on our website it obviously tells about our farm. It also has an online store where you can order our meats and eggs.
And what's that website?
It's whitehurstfarm.com, and that's WHITEHURST farm.com. And so it talks about the 2020 farm share. You can sign up there. What we have tried to do is to make sure that we are producing enough to meet the demand and not to oversell and not be able to meet demand. Obviously, we have tons and tons of product. That's not a problem. We're just trying to keep it diversified for people and keep it interesting and be able to have different vegetables each week. So you can sign up there. There's different options for full pay. I believe there's even a monthly pay, just whatever works for your budget. Right now we have an 8-week program that's left. We were trying to finish it up by the end of May, and then we would have a summer program as well. There's some vegetable transition once we start to get temperatures that are 90 to 100 degrees. All the greens, or most of the greens, go away. But we're back to a lot of people's favorites like melons, cantaloupe, tomatoes, things like that. So we will continue it. But yeah, check it out. It's got all the information that you would need to be able to sign up.
Okay, so thank you for that. So remember, whitehurstfarm.com. That's where you can go and sign up for that share. And if you're really struggling with lack of variety in the grocery stores, now's the time to get in on this. What about anything else that you want to share with us? Like, I know that you have eggs, you have laying hens, and I know that you've had in the past some livestock. So tell us a little bit about that and what kind of access you have to that.
Sure. So we also have about 1,400 free-range egg layers out in the field, and so we collect lots of eggs every day. We always have eggs available. If you want eggs, you can order those online, or if you do the farm share, there's even an option to add a box of eggs to your vegetable box each week.
Awesome.
Our online store has all of our meats, so everything that we sell is something that we raised. Lots of pork, because we do have pastured pigs. We have grass-fed beef, chicken and turkey cuts, Right now, obviously the last 3 weeks we've had extremely high demand, and so our inventory is lower. But we do have more additional pork coming back, and you can get all the retail cuts that you're familiar with. Everything from pork shoulder to bacon to pork chops, different sausages that we make. So all the cuts that you're familiar with, you can just buy those a la carte on our website.
Awesome. Okay. So that's great. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your layers. You mentioned how many you have earlier.
Yeah, so we at any given time try to keep between about 1,200 and 2,000 egg layers. I think right now we have somewhere around 1,500. And that's just to be able to supply the restaurants that we have, plus all the eggs we need for individual, consumers that buy from us direct. What we have learned is that we need to have a flock for about 12 to 15 months maximum, and then to roll that flock out. And the reason that is as the chicken ages, the shell quality diminishes slightly. The production of the eggs diminish slightly. And so for us as a production farm, we need to be able to have that chicken kind of going at a pretty good clip all the time as far as its production and the rate of lay. So once that drops below about 70% of what it would have been at its peak, it's time for us to get rid of that chicken and to bring in new chickens. So in the background, in the very far background back there, we have our older layers. These are mature layers laying eggs every day. Here in the foreground, we have younger chickens that are not quite laying yet. We call these pullets. Those pullets, there's about 400 in that group right there. And so they are the backup flock that will replace the mature layers that we roll out at 12 to 14 months. People ask us, what do you do with them? Do you make stew hens out of them? Do you eat them? Whatever. What we typically do is we'll put them on Craigslist, or we'll sell them off live to, back homeowners or somebody that just wants small amounts for their farm. And so they actually go pretty quick. So we sell all of them off live. Someone might buy 5. Somebody else might buy 50. And so it's a good way for someone else to be able to provide eggs for their own family. The chicken gets to live, and so it kind of works out for everybody.
That's awesome. That's really great. Yeah, I think back home in South Louisiana, we'd call those good gumbo hens. So those might be a hot commodity down there.
Yeah.
All right.
Now the other thing that we do is these chickens are moving all the time. So if you have ever had chickens, you know that chickens can tear up ground very, very quickly.
Yes.
And so depending on the time of year, depending on how much vegetation we have, the chickens might be on a piece of ground for 3 days, or they may be on a piece of ground for a week, or even 10 to 14 days. It just depends on the time of year, how much grass we have. And so we just kind of manually monitor it, and once they start to get down to the roots, we want to go ahead and move them so that they're on clean grass for them health-wise, but they're also on new grass that they're able to eat as part of their diet.
Well, thank you for educating us on that. I think that's really great information to have, and I bet a lot of people didn't even know about that. So is there anything else you want to tell us besides that? Anything else you'd like us to know about the farm, about supporting local farmers? I'd love to give you the opportunity to share that.
Sure. No, I think wherever you are, if you're somewhere else across the country and you're seeing this video, we want you to find a local farmer that is the closest farmer to you. Go support that person. What you need to do is you need to actually go out and see the farm. It doesn't matter if it's meat or vegetables. You need to go see how the farmer is producing the meats, the eggs, the vegetables that you're getting, see what the land looks like. You can go to a farmer's market, but that's really not the best way to really find or trust that you're getting pastured product or organic vegetables, or vegetables even raised by that farmer. So we always say that unless you can see it with your own eyes, you really need to be careful about what you're buying, and that includes if you're going to a farmer's market.
Yeah.
We highly recommend that you do go visit a farmer's market, but just do your homework, do your research, go see the farmer, call the farmer. I know farmers seem strange these days because there's not that many, but they're humans, and you can ask them questions, and again, see how they farm, see what's going on with your food. But again, we're not asking you to come to us. We're asking you to go find the closest farmer and support them. Right now with the events going on, it is becoming increasingly clear to people that a grocery store is not necessarily your food security. It's the person growing it, that small farmer. As you can see in our gardens, there is plenty of abundance. That is not a problem. We have lots of food. It's abundant. There's no need to panic, but it's supporting small farms that lets this be here. It gives security. It helps the local community. And so that's probably the one thing that I would say is just go find a farmer close to you and start a relationship with that person. It'll benefit you, the community. It's really a great thing.
That's a great point. Thanks for sharing that.